Hello and welcome back to Pics and Portraits. This is going up the week of Valentine's Day, and so I thought we'd dive into the future of love, or love in the future. We are going to be looking at some concepts and examples from pop culture and media from our futures past. Pretty excited for this. Before we get into it though, this and every video on this channel was made possible by our patrons over at patreon.com/picsandportraits. Nothing is made from views. This channel is not monetized. We are 100% viewer supported. In exchange, we offer over 100 exclusive videos. So if you like what we do and want to help make it happen, please consider supporting us on Patreon. We also have t-shirts. Like and share these videos. Everything helps. Enough of the plugs. Let's head back to the future. Now, I know very little about robotics or how computers work, but I do know about love, and so we are going to be mainly focusing on the emotional connection between humans and AI and how technology has aided us in developing relationships with each other. As a heads up, some of this is not going to be safe for work, nothing too graphic or exciting, but some of the stuff here is going to be adult-oriented. Please view with discretion. We are going to be playing with format a little bit as well. I have some clips that I want to play, starting with this great one from 15 years ago, 2009. It talks about virtual dating. Today, dating apps and online dating are pretty normalized, but back in the aughts, that wasn't the case. There was still a certain stigma widely attached to it. A lot of the anxiety behind meeting people online came from some very real safety concerns, security. People didn't know exactly who they were talking to, which is still an issue, but social media did wonders for making the internet and computers more accessible and accepted. It wasn't some nerdy thing anymore. More people than ever were online. I found multiple clips from around this time of old newscasts talking about a rise in online dating in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis. The newscasters present this as having something nice or something to distract you when you're broke, versus people partnering up due to the high cost of living and the struggles of trying to make it as a single person during a recession. But yeah, let's get to the clip, because it is a great snapshot into the future of online dating, or at least what that was thought to be at the time.
It's a regular Sunday night for 27-year-old Jonathan Chernow as he sits in front of the home computer to meet other singles.
Online dating is the wave of the future, and virtual dating is the future of the future.
He's talking about a website called OmniDate, where you choose a virtual person to represent you in a 3D restaurant or bar. Tonight, he's casually chatting with a woman from Manhattan, who's also talking to him through a virtual person. By clicking on a button, users can blow a kiss or even touch their date's face. Jonathan is virtually dating a girl named Danielle, whose online persona looks like this. Millions of other people are logging on for love. Back in 2006, online dating sites generated $768 million in revenue, but it's estimated that figure will nearly double by 2010. But some are skeptical whether those online connections are real. But to Jonathan, his experience on the site has been positive. This evening, he opened up to his parents, talking to them about what he likes about Danielle. Do you feel like you've been kind of virtually introduced to her?
Just now?
Yeah.
Well, even though I haven't met her, I think seeing this, I would like to meet her. So yes, I've been virtually introduced to her, but I would like to meet her, yes.
For Valentine's Day, Jonathan may be online or hang with friends.
I do have to work all day Valentine's Day, so when I get home, I'm probably planning on going on the computer. I might go out with some drinks with some of my other single friends after work, if they're up for it.
But for those who log on, it's a whole new world in which to find love, where singles hope to find a connection.
Going back even further into the 90s, the digital age, the cyber age, I feel like the idea of a cyber world or the cyber world came out of making sense of the internet and how it functioned. Before the internet was ingrained in our day-to-day life, it was something you logged into, this other place full of people from all over the world where you could meet or be anyone. Virtual avatars and eventually communities were created, as we just saw in that clip there. People could express themselves through fantasies and socialize with other real people doing the same thing in this virtual space, imagined within the technological limitations of the time. People's identities online could align with how they saw themselves, when maybe in real life they couldn't be themselves. The aesthetics are extremely dated, but the desires they represent are timeless. Lonely people wanting to connect, wanting love, and moving into the mature segment of our show, wanting sex. Now, we have an entire series over on Patreon featuring the history of animated smut, Century of Schlock. There we covered the roots of pornography and saw that new technologies have always been used to explore sexuality. Computers and the internet are no exception. Obviously, the connectiveness, bringing like-minded people together, people into the same kinks who might not have access to community in real life. People met strangers and developed relationships in chat rooms, RIC, that moved over into the real world. With the technology being so new, not everyone had access to a computer or reliable internet. Internet cafes, places where people could pay to use the internet to chat with people in different cities, as though they were in the same room, kind of like a bar, having cyber sex, writing out different fantasies, describing actions, all virtual extensions of natural feelings. However real the feelings may have been, this was still a manufactured or synthetic experience. There was no way of knowing exactly who was on the other end. People fell in love with what was being projected rather than the person projecting. Anonymity lends itself to deception and real danger, with the lawlessness that came from the internet being so unregulated. Watching clips around this time is pretty wild, seeing where people thought all of this was going and knowing where it actually went. A lot of interactive simulations, live streaming, which of course came to be, power fantasies, very male-centric. We will talk about it more when we get into AI, but virtual companions or interactive sex was something almost exclusively marketed towards men. I did find some examples of futuristic erotic devices, which is certainly a sentence, that at least factored in women, including this next clip from 1996 from the softcore feature Sensual Reality Computer Escapes. Let's take a look.
It's Hump Day in Seattle, and we have more fantastic music on the way for you right after this. Tired of all the problems and stress in your busy life? Has therapy, biofeedback, and yoga emptied your mind and wallet? You need Computer Escapes in downtown Seattle, a breakthrough in technology you can only imagine. Our supercomputer isn't hooked to a TV, it's connected directly to you. Close your eyes and fly away into your deepest, wildest pleasures. Computer Escapes will bathe your mind in 1,000,000 gigabytes of global gratification. Make an appointment for a stimulating journey you'll never forget. Call Computer Escapes today.
Hi, are you Gary?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Gary, I'm Nancy.
Nice meeting you, Nancy.
Nice meeting you.
Are you ready for the ride of your life?
I hope so.
Okay, well, why don't you have a seat over here and we'll get started.
All right. This is quite a room. So is all this equipment for me?
Every bit of it. Are you ready? Let's put this on you. How's that fit?
Feels great. So what exactly happens?
When you're watching a movie or TV, which direction does the information flow?
It's all coming to me.
Right, but not only do we digitally input to your conscious mind, we also read your alpha and delta waves. Our computer locks on, takes over this interaction, and away you go.
Wow. Are you sure this is perfectly safe?
I'll be monitoring everything, and then we'll bring you back for a perfect landing.
Connecting online has become a lot easier thanks to smartphones. Dating apps are designed to be convenient and addictive, the promise of love in your pocket. Working with years, at this point almost decades, worth of consumer data, algorithms are getting better and better at connecting people. Matching algorithms, you answer questions about yourself, your prospective partner answers questions about their self, and an algorithm matches you based on how many of your answers overlap. Of course, this is flawed. Just because you have the same values or interests doesn't mean you'll be compatible in other ways. I feel like this is no different than two people connecting at, say, a jazz bar because they both like jazz music, or at an event around the same fandom. Doesn't mean they'll be compatible in other ways, but it does break the ice. AI nudges you towards each other. Contextualizing concepts or fears from our current time as retrofuturism, thinking about how now will be viewed in the future, I imagine a lot of things are going to revolve around AI. There is a ton of discussion around artificial intelligence and what it is capable of. These range from things we are already seeing, simplifying tasks, eliminating jobs, deepfakes, to the machines completely taking over. I don't know the future. Shouldn't have to say that, but there is a possibility that we've already reached close to what AI is capable of. People might look back on us the same way we see the absurd things people in the 60s thought would be atomic in the future, like, oh my god, they really thought it was going to enslave humanity, can't even make a coffee. Still, in the last 10 years, the technology around AI assistants has really advanced. Siri, Alexa, you can speak and give orders to these robots, voice-activated commands, you can control so much from your phone. Algorithms and AI are also tastemakers. They curate so much of what we consume based on our interests. An algorithm even brought us together. You told it the things you liked, and it said, hey, check this out. AI can do and has done so much for us, but what happens when humans fall in love with artificial intelligence? To see some possible outcomes, I'd like to look at a few movies. This is going to basically be a condensed version of Feature Film. Another plug for the Patreon, a series where we look at all the features seen in movies. We are going to head back to 1975 with the Stepford Wives. Now, this film doesn't take place in the future, but it does deal with the concept of AI. The women in the town of Stepford have been replaced by robots who are aesthetically immaculate and exist only to serve their husbands. Looking at it through a satirical lens, it examines the absurdity of men's expectations of what women should be, just like we saw with the interactive companions, a fantasy. Electric Dreams from 1984 features a man and his computer vying for the affection of a woman. Awesome soundtrack, Together in Electric Dreams. I thought Her would be a great candidate as well. Spike Jonze, 2013, looking ahead to a very realistic near future where a lonely man falls in love with an AI assistant, Samantha. Not everybody has the best social skills, anxiety, past trauma, insecurities. There are several reasons why someone may find it easier to communicate with AI rather than a human. Her does a pretty good job of exploring dating AI and some of the issues, the human issues that can arise from it. Jealousy, insecurity, embarrassment, shame. While this still feels far off, developments have been made in terms of social robotics. Years ago, we had a whole video on robot companions and robots as comfort tools. AI provides company to people. Devices can help those with memory issues remember memories or people who are gone. Robots, AI, can be loved. Now, all of this is very different than the courting of yesterday. Technology has brought us closer together and will continue to do so in the future. The means of achieving them may be artificial, but the feelings, the love, is real. That's going to do it for today. I'm sure there was a ton I missed, so let me know what you think. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and again, if you have the means, please consider supporting us on Patreon. We have a new Liminal Dreams over there now, feature film, Century of Schlock, $5 a month gets you access to all that and helps keep these videos coming. Patreon.com/pixandportraits. Happy Valentine's Day, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the future. Thanks everybody.